Karen blocked my barn door with her Porsche. So I drove my Harvester over it, entitled People. He update too. We showed the temperature records from that day, the vet's written warning about the danger of heat stroke in enclosed barns, and the sheriff's own observation report confirming the block. I even had footage from the moment I paused before touching the car, giving every possible chance for someone to intervene. The judge leaned forward when we played the security cam audio with the cows bawling in the background. The room was dead silent except for that echo of desperation from the animals. Karen's lawyer tried to interrupt, claiming emotional harm. But the judge held up a hand and asked one question. Did your client make any attempt to move the vehicle after being contacted multiple times? The silence was louder than any argument. The judge finally leaned back in his chair and said he'd take the matter under review, but noted that the evidence heavily leaned toward justifiable action during a documented emergency. Karen's face cracked for just a second. Her smug shield faltered as she realized her plan wasn't working. She wasn't just losing the case, she was losing control of the narrative. Outside the courtroom, the cameras were waiting. Karen tried to slither past them, but one reporter caught her with a microphone and asked what she thought about the meme, Porsche Pancake. She hissed that this was a gross invasion of privacy, and stormed toward her car. Well, her rental. The original was still in my barn driveway, now considered evidence for the insurance claim. I took no pleasure in seeing her rattled. But I did take satisfaction in the fact that, for once, the system hadn't buckled under someone with money and volume. Back home, things were calm for a few days. The animals were thriving. The news cycle was slowly shifting away from the viral drama, and I started to believe that maybe Karen would finally back off. But I underestimated how deep her claws went into the local HOA. One morning, I woke to find a letter shoved under my door. Not mailed, just shoved. It was from the HOA board, citing new bylaws restricting the operation of heavy machinery within 600 feet of community boundaries. They'd redrawn their plat map overnight, extending the community edge right up to the border of my farm. I knew exactly what this was. Karen was using the HOA as a backdoor weapon. If she couldn't win in court, she'd try to strangle me with bureaucracy. But what she didn't realize was that my grandfather had registered our property's right of way access with the county 50 years ago. It was grandfathered in. Not only could I operate equipment on that lane, I had a legal easement that trumped any HOA regulation. Still, it was a headache. I had to dig through old files, call in a surveyor, and file a formal objection with the zoning office. Then Roy called, telling me something even worse. Karen had filed a rezoning request for my property, listing it as a semi-commercial operation. A move that would slap me with dozens of compliance restrictions and noise ordinances. Her goal was clear: tie me up in red tape, make life miserable, force me to sell. I felt the old rage bubbling again. This wasn't a feud anymore, it was a siege. And she was playing a long game. Luckily, Roy had a niece who worked in the zoning office. She scanned the paperwork, and caught something, and right away, one of the signatures approving the rezoning petition belonged to a local official who had died 2 years earlier. Another was from a resident who moved out of state. The dates didn't match. The ink was consistent on all signatures. It didn't take much digging to confirm that Karen had forged them. We submitted a report to the county ethics board. And just like that, Karen's brilliant strategy began to implode. The county launched a fraud investigation.